Transformers 96 here with another video review. This time I'm going to be talking about some newly shown items for the kind of online Comic-Con. This is the week that Comic-Con was supposed to be going on, so there are still companies kind of contributing to like a digital Comic-Con where Sideshow kind of seems to be the ringleader, kind of putting it all together, which is a great idea. It lacks a little magic, to be honest, but nonetheless I think that it's cool that they're still trying to put together an event to show off figures. So in this video I'm going to be talking about some of the new Hot Toys figures that have been shown. Now, Hot Toys is scheduled for a main kind of event with Sideshow today in a little under an hour from when I'm filming this. So by the time I post it, probably any minute now. So that hopefully we'll get some more reveals. But nonetheless, we have just some general reveals here. Sideshow kind of did a thing where they have basically a bunch of toy companies that they've set up in a room, all displaying their items, and they kind of went around and showed some stuff. So there was some cool stuff shown. Not a ton of new stuff from anybody, though, to be honest. I don't know if kind of within their own little like sections and panels they'll reveal more, though, and they just have a couple little extra things just out on the main floor. I'm not sure. But with Hot Toys, the main thing that they showed that was new are Star Wars figures. Here's kind of a Star Wars setup from them. As you can see, a couple new figures there. We have a Hoth X-Wing pilot, Luke, which I think is very cool. Not any great shots of that because really all that we have are the video stills, which don't have wonderful quality. But he looks nice. I like the kind of pose they have him in too. Proportion-wise, I don't know, like that looks like Luke standing there, to be honest. Jango, we see him with this unmasked head sculpt, looking very cool. It's neat to get an unmasked Jango. Usually the Jango figures always just have their helmet on, or always only come with a helmet, so it's nice to get one here. I assume it's very much just a similar sculpt from what they did with the previous clones. Might have just, you know, interchangeable hair or something like that, but I'm sure the face features are very similar. But the main things that we have good images of, and that are the most interesting in my opinion, are these two. They're expanding their Clone Wars series. They did a Clone Wars figure of Cody, and we've got some new ones with Anakin and Obi-Wan. So, I don't know why Hot Toys and Black Series are doing this, where they're doing Clone Wars characters, but the movie versions of them. It doesn't make sense. I don't know who asked for that, because I don't think anybody did. You know, if you want a movie version of these characters, chances are you're going to want the look from the movie, and if you want a Clone Wars version of these characters, chances are you're going to want to look from Clone Wars. So I don't understand this hybrid of the two is just annoying to me. These figures obviously are wearing exactly what they wore in the Clone Wars, but it's, you know, it's weathered to look very realistic, and then the face sculpts are, I believe that they're the exact same sculpts. I don't think that they're newly sculpted. I think they're just repainted from the previous versions of the movie figures. So I'm not sure, like, some people might be into this type of design. For me, I'm just not. Because it's weird to have the simplistic style of clothing, but with the real-world textures on the actual actors' faces. It just is strange. They look like they're wearing weird tunics. It's just, you know, it works in the Clone Wars. It's perfect in the Clone Wars because that has a simplistic style, but it doesn't work when it comes to like hyper-realism with you know, Hot Toys. It just looks very odd in my opinion. So, you know, this might be right up your alley, but for me it's strange. I really wish that they actually sculpted them to look like the animated versions. It would be easier too. Obviously they're just reusing sculpt, so I guess it wouldn't be easier, but the sculpt itself would not require as much detail. It would be much cheaper to make, is what I'm getting at. So it would be really nice if they went that route. Very disappointed that they didn't, and it's odd because it's only with Clone Wars, because I mean they've made Arkham figures before. They're still making Arkham figures, and the Miles Morales, the Into the Spider-Verse, they've made figures of that too, and they've done them in animated styles, so I'm not quite sure why they refuse to do the animated styles of these characters. Same thing with Hasbro's Black Series. They're doing the same type of design where they're taking the movie characters and the movie you know, clothing designs, but making them realistic, which in my opinion is not what anybody really wants. And I don't see many people that are interested in that. Most people want the animated version or they want the movie version. They don't want a hybrid of two. Nonetheless, though, if you're into it, I mean, there's some extra figures, which is cool. I guess, you know, although I'd prefer like an animated Cad Bane, if they did a movie one, like a movie version of him, I guess that would be kind of neat. I guess, you know, with Cad Bane, it's just kind of like, although that alien's design was in a movie once, because his character himself was not in a movie, I feel like they'd be kind of forced to make it a little more animated. Nonetheless, though, these are, you know, lazy in my opinion. I'm not a fan, to be quite honest. I think that just the overall concept is something that nobody wants, in my opinion, and then I think that just reusing head sculpts for it and stuff is a little disappointing as well. Jango looks cool, though. You know, he's a nice one. And then the Hoth X-Wing pilot, Luke, looks really nice. I actually think that that looks like a really solid figure. So I'm hoping that this isn't it. I hope that they are showing more. I assume that they will be showing more, considering really the only new Hot Toys figures that were shown were Star Wars. There is one new, you know, game version of Spider-Man that was shown too, but I hope that there's more, especially with all the movies that were supposed to already have come out. I'm sure that they have the majority of their Black Widow line done. They obviously, you know, if you know, the pandemic didn't happen, those would have been put on pre-order months ago. So I feel like there should be some Black Widow stuff that they can show, and probably Wonder Woman too. So hopefully there's some more cool stuff going to be shown within an hour here, or as you're watching this probably right now. And as long as there's new stuff shown, I'll definitely be covering it. But there you go. That's my thoughts on the new figures that were shown so far from Hot Toys from their Star Wars collection of Jango Fett, X-Wing pilot Hoth Luke, as well as Anakin and Obi-Wan with movie portraits on Clone Wars bodies. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of the current reveals, and thanks so much for watching.